Hi, y'all, and welcome to the Dirty Ambiance podcast. We are boom operators talking to persons of interest within our and other departments. We're looking to have discussions about sound solutions, humorous ideas, small sets, the European film industry, as well as the world industry at large, to communicate, learn, and spread a little aloha along the way.
There's all kinds of different ways that this random thing I do for a living goes. It's like I literally paint with people. I would introduce myself to would be the sound person, and because they would make me sound good, and then I would introduce myself to the gaffer and cinematographer immediately. Like those are the first three in a row.
Sure.
And then the director.
Yeah.
So like, because I wanted to look good, sound good, be well lit, and
Sure. And if none of those things work, then there's no reason to have a director in the first place.
Yeah.
What is the difference between an amateur and a professional?
Someone who double checks their work.
A professional assumes they're wrong.
Oh.
That's literally the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you run into people and just have ideas about, I can fix this, or here's this doctor that can do that.
Well, in that sense, that comes exactly to where we are at the moment. In the situation of when I was talking to you on the phone the other day, you gave me this really inside scoop version of what you used to do as an actress when you first walked on the set. What was that?
Oh, you mean that I know a secret?
No. What is that?
That's a way to slate. Well, the first thing that, you mean once I've been hired?
Exactly.
Yeah, the first thing I did as an actress when I was hired for a job, I would go on the set. The first person I would introduce myself to would be the sound person, and because they would make me sound good, and then I would introduce myself to the gaffer and cinematographer immediately.
Yeah.
Like those are the first three in a row.
Sure.
And then the director.
Yeah.
So like, because I wanted to look good, sound good, be well lit, and
Sure. And if none of those things work, then there's no reason to have a director in the first place.
Yeah, if all those things are handled, then the director can do his or her job easily.
And you can work and look good in the final
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
I learned that a long time ago when I was working on a set for 6 weeks, and so I was doing all these different jobs on a movie called Curse of a Starving Class. And I played Kathy Bates as 20 in a scene that got cut out, and then I was her stand-in, and I drove for her, and I did a couple stunts.
Like PA driving for her?
No, as her.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I did her driving stunts and stuff.
Because she didn't want to drive.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I don't have to be behind the wheel, so there's no reason.
Well, I mean, I had to drive
behind
like
the wheel.
way up this curvy road really fast, and in this old 50s gremlin-looking car. I can't remember what it was called, but it was this very square, boxy little...
It's not the black one that's sitting out there on the side of the road.
No, that belongs to my neighbor across the street. Yeah.
It looks a little bit like a Porsche Roadster, but the really old one, like the James Dean car.
I think it's a Carmen Ghia.
Yeah.
Is what I think it is. So yeah, but I learned on that set how to do all the jobs because I would like fill in and do, hang out with the lighting people all day, hang out with the sound people all day. So I held booms. I did all kinds of stuff. I did craft services. Not for that job, but I had done it in other jobs, and just learned how to do everything.
Awesome.
Which was great fun and helpful for me as an actor when I was an actor.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, totally. So to kind of introduce this topic and this podcast in a way, the reason I've started it, my hope for it to grow and move further, is really to build some type of interdepartmental relations.
Yeah.
So a large thing, at least in Germany, I'm not exactly sure how it is here, but a large thing in Germany, and, well, we'll just stick with Germany because I don't have a whole lot of entire European experience, but within Germany, it usually ends up being a huge problem of just, like, fuck sound. In the sense of, like, whoever can find a reason to blame something on sound or not necessarily giving the right time. And this totally goes down to a ton of other departments, so it's not just sound. Props will get fucked over at times. Costume will get fucked over at times. And then you have the situation where it's just a director that either just doesn't understand how much time and effort it takes to actually get something done.
Right.
Or they don't care. which either one of those things is just a bad situation all the way around.
Oh, no, totally.
Totally.
No, it's a team. It's not
Yeah.
a competition.
Yeah.
You're not trying to beat up the PAs. You know? They're there to help.
Well, as a PA, I definitely didn't go through any boxing matches, but there were a lot of verbal fist fights at times, or just like walk away, let it go, don't even worry about this kind of bullshit. But I mean, I would assume that's also something that can happen on American Hollywood stuff. Or...
I mean, I've seen sound people get in fights with the director and with the cinematographer.
But we're talking just verbal fights, or we're talking about
no,
like
no,
actual
verbal fights
fist
and
fights?
like yelling, and you know, you've got the sound guy over there, and or it could be a girl. I don't want to be
Sure.
You know, but the sound person was over there, and you know, and he just kept yelling things out during the shooting.
The sound guy?
scene. Yeah.
Okay.
So they were shooting, and he just kept yelling, "Louder!
Yeah.
Quieter!
Whoa.
Well, you're supposed to cry right there," and it's like, "What are you doing?" You
Okay.
know? So that, I think, was a insane person rather than the typical set, you know.
Typical set, you definitely wouldn't have that. I've gotten that situation from sometimes grip or camera or something like that, where I had the situation on a very, very low budget shoot where we're doing a tracking shot of two people running up a very wide thing, like the whole dolly tracks, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They come running up and they sit on a bench. It's a very wide angle. You see everything. But we needed the sound from that particular thing.
Right.
And the camera guy, like, due to shadows and whatnot, the sun was right behind camera. So there's no way I could get so far in with the boom to make it really, really count.
Right.
But we needed that sound.
Right.
And he's like, slower, faster, faster, slower, 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 faster. And the mic is right next to him. Right
So all
next
of
to
this
him.
is now being recorded.
Exactly. And my sound guy's not freaking out in the middle of the shot, but he's just like, he's French. This is garbage. This is garbage. I need to tell you guys, the take's over. Okay, it's garbage. It's total garbage. Like, for one, we have the kindergarten in the background, and that's just garbage. So if we could do anything without the fucking kindergarten in the background, that would be great, guys.
Garbage.
But because the kindergarten's in the background, at least we see it, and so we know what the sound is coming from with the kindergarten. But having a cameraman just say slower, slower, faster, faster, slower. He's not on camera. It's fucking garbage, guys. It's garbage.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, there's one thing when somebody's making a mistake, you know, and then, but without communication, you can't, you know, you need
completely, sure.
You've
but that's
got to be able to go over there and say, please don't say faster and slower.
Sure.
On camera, or, you know, verbally, just don't say it.
Sure.
You know, and that's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand is communication is just paramount
very much
on a set. And
Very
and
much.
everybody, when everybody does their job correctly,
Mhm.
it works just like beautifully, you know. And it's like, as a casting director, I tell actors all the time, you're just part of a big team. It's a little universe, and everybody has their job. And your job is to be actor, you know, and your job is not to be in the way. Your job is not to, you know, harass people. But definitely go in and
Or
say
be
hello.
harassed.
Or be harassed. But definitely go in and say hello, because you're all on the same team and everybody's working towards the same goal, which is to get the movie made.
Sure.
You know, and
Sure.
and don't be afraid of the director, and don't be afraid of me. I mean, so
They're
many
people.
actors are afraid of me. And
They're
I'm
people.
Like,
You're
we're
a
on the same
person-
level. We're all part of
Yes.
the universe.
Yes.
You know.
I mean, the hierarchy structure definitely exists for a reason, in the sense of trickle-down communication, delegating things, all of those kinds of things. But respect should always go from the top down.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom up, of course, but top down, and not just shit always rolls downhill.
No,
That's
that
a
doesn't help.
fucking retarded way to go.
Well, no,
And-
because you never know who's at the bottom is going to be at the top tomorrow. So just be kind.
Exactly. Be kind, rewind.
You know, be kind. Everyone. I mean, there's this stupid little saying, you know, the toes you step on today may be connected to the ass you have to kiss tomorrow.
Shit.
So it's like, just be nice. Be a nice human being.
Mhm.
You know, treat them like you would want to be treated. The golden rule. Like, just apply that
For
to
sure.
filmmaking. You know. In cups and hand it to his PAs. You know, and no.
Did you pee in the cup?
I did not pee in the cup. But, you know, it's like, that is, and I know he was busy, but come on, guys. He needs to do that.
Wait, so in the sense of, I can't get up right now, I'm just gonna...
I'm too busy to deal with this.
I'm just gonna whip it out,
and
pee in a cup, and...
Hand it
What?
to the PAs. Yeah, I heard that story a lot.
I know I'm laughing at the moment, but that's nasty. That's fucked up.
Well, it's just, I know you're in the moment and stuff, and that was
Sure.
in the 80s. So
But that's degrading as
Things
fuck.
have changed a lot since
Yeah.
the 80s with
Good.
filmmaking,
Good.
where hopefully he's not still doing that, but who knows?
Who the fuck knows? We might find out due to this conversation.
Yeah, oh no, the last thing I need is to be sued again for something.
Well,
No, I've never been sued.
this is all speculation, so we have no idea. Just a random thing we heard at some point, and
We heard that a director did this.
heard through the grapevine, and it may or may not be that person. And the only reason to bring up that type of an example is hopefully no one ever does it or has done it.
Right.
And so, if it's a fictitious thing, that is the best thing for everyone all the way around.
Hopefully it's fake.
Yes, completely.
But, yeah, but it was a story.
Let's have the proper amount of awkward silence at the moment.
To put that to
Oh
bed,
shit!
yeah.
Did I fuck over my career before it even started? Oh shit!
Well, no, I mean, I'm not judging it either way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what happened.
Oh, I'm judging it.
Oh, good.
I'm being
Okay.
judgy as fuck right now. If that's something that actually existed, I feel like it deserves the proper.
Well,
amount
no,
of judgment. If it didn't
my
exist,
friend was a
yeah.
PA, and she told me she had to take the cups away. So
Oh, okay. Well, either way, still speculation. An example
it's not an
for
accusation.
the multitudes.
We don't have a hashtag before it.
Absolutely
It's
not.
just
Absolutely not.
what I heard from my friend.
One thing that you said earlier that is also something I would love to progress with this podcast is you mentioned sound man, and you didn't want to
Yeah,
say
and then I
just
went,
only
or
sound man.
girl,
Yes.
yeah, or woman.
And that's something. So one of the companies that I'll hopefully be working very closely with about this podcast. They just recently featured, I think maybe the first. I might be mistaken, guys. Sorry, but the first that I've seen a female boom operator on their Instagram page.
I know a bunch of female boom operators.
I know
Yeah.
that they do exist, but in Germany it is very unheard of.
Oh, wow.
In the sense of it's like I've heard of a couple, never met one in person.
Yeah.
I met one from France in person on the on Annette.
Yeah.
The Adam Driver thing.
Oh, the Adam.
The Adam Driver, Marion Cotillard, and Leos Carrix, which is totally mispronounced.
don't know
Yeah,
how to say it.
that was awesome. They had I don't believe she was a second. I'm pretty sure it was a first and a first in the sense of they were on the same level, and she was booming right along with everyone else. And I think she was the smallest person out of their team as well, and she was handling like
And she was
full
like,
extended
"Rrr."
boom. But then on top of that, they're recording live music and everything like that. So live singing, which is a heavier microphone.
Yeah.
And that was incredible to see. That was incredible to see. And then on top of that, that was one of the days that we were shooting, they had, so the main character's daughter, she's mostly played by a puppet for most of the entire
wow.
film.
I have to see this
But there,
movie.
yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible. But there are a couple scenes where an actual actress comes in, a very small girl, and the way that they rigged up the lav mic setup on her, she almost had like this little vest that went under her clothing, and then I think 6 or 7 different mics that were placed
Wow.
all around the entire thing. It's the most
Wow.
complicated lav mic setup I've ever seen.
Why?
But I'm sure it sounds incredible. I think basically in the sense of getting the entire sound of her speaking or
Okay.
singing or anything like that, because I would assume that because she has such a small voice,
They want to make sure they capture
they're
all the
really
elements
trying to
of
capture
it.
all of that. And if she happens to make any quick movements that has to do with just a single a lav mic right in the middle where she goes off to the side and then you miss it, you definitely don't want to do take after take after take
I
after
don't know
take.
what the beeping is.
I think somebody's getting into a car. Yeah, somebody just pulled up. No worries.
Somebody just pulled up here
Yeah, I think it's your neighbor.
in a truck.
It's a white
White car.
Oh, it's UPS.
Oh, it's UPS. Okay, so we'll have to.
Well, this is perfect
Kill
for
UPS time.
No. This is perfect for the set situation. You never know what comes.
You never
along.
know what comes along.
And we're definitely not cutting for UPS at the moment because it just doesn't matter.
And off he goes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's annoying to have something beep like that in the middle of a.
I don't care. This is not that type of situation. We're not going for clear, perfect dialogue without any. beeps
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
middle.
we
This
just
is-
get what we get here.
This
at
is
the-
run and gun, see how it goes, and take as much time as possible talking before you have to go
Before I
back
have
to
to
work.
work some more.
You are a working professional.
I'm trying to be. We call it work. It's so stressful. I mean, you get to a point where, you know, I worked with Billy DeMotta for a long time, and
shout out to Billy, by the way.
Billy!
Dude, thanks for hooking this shit up, man.
Who I adore, and we would get so like bizarrely overwhelmed that we'd start answering the phone. Now what? You know?
Oh, this makes total sense. I think it's still something that's a part of his nature of answering phones.
Oh, he still answers the phone.
There is no hello. It's just he knows exactly who's on the phone, and so it's like, yeah, what's going on? No, I can't talk right now. Okay, talk. Call you back.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, I mean, we all know who's calling. It's just like sometimes we say hello. You know.
What now?
Now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Now What casting registered for a while, but we never did it.
Oh, why not?
Because we were Billy DeMotta and Dea Vise Casting.
Is that what you guys are now?
Now it's Dea Vise Casting.
Okay.
Billy retired. He's still involved in, you know, doing definitely consulting, and if he gets something, he'll do it. You know, I'm sure. But but we don't really do things together. Although he's consulted on my last few movies.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Nice.
We were a good pair. We had a great casting relationship. It was fun.
For me, it's the thing that I really hope to be in at one point. That I have a team that I'm surrounded by, that whether I'm the top or the bottom, I'm just surrounded by the people I want to work with.
Yes.
And have that that easy breathing sort of feeling. We're in this together, and even if it gets stressful, that we're going to solve that situation together. Solution-based mindset kind of a thing.
Absolutely. No, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it's like if you're not all focused on the same goal, then you're end up going like this.
For sure. I've seen way too many situations where you just have camera fighting directorial, and you just, then that's not even necessarily shit rolls downhill. That's more of just like the infection of stress spreads.
Yeah,
because you get no opportunity to like really get a feel for what are we actually doing right now until like the camera turns on.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if they're fighting, who knows what you're gonna get?
That's messed up.
You're talking about cinematographer versus director?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that too. It's like, no, it should be this way, it should be that way, and then everybody else just stays quiet and wanders around and acts like they're doing something.
It's okay. We know what we're doing today.
We know what we're doing, yes we do. Oh, okay, we're ready? Okay, let's roll. Just stay out of the way completely.
Totally.
Oh my God.
So yeah, hopefully this podcast is not so much about the art form of anything. There will definitely be people that I talk to where it will be about the art form. The last guy that I talked to yesterday just went on and on and on at times about just the whole technicality of microphones.
That's
just
cool.
Everything, like super in depth. We went on for like 3.5 hours, like 3.5 hours, and that was from talking about like improv and improv acting and how you can use that in just your day-to-day life. How that's something about just show up. Just make sure you show up, say yes and how can I roll with this? What can I do about it? As opposed to nope, it's garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah, it's like shutting down every single idea is not how you get to do this. Yeah.
No, solution-based mindset is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope for it, and this is my solution-based mindset at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, in casting, I get shut down. It's like I come up with all these ideas, and no. Okay, so here's some more ideas. I mean, it's constantly throwing ideas and digging all through the universe to find actors, and then sending them to the director and sometimes the producer and director.
Needed, right?
Well, I need to
only
know
a yes,
what
no
they
situation.
want. Yeah, it's not yes or no, but it could be maybe. In that case, you might have to audition them, or or have a meeting, or there's all kinds of different ways that this random thing I do for a living goes. It's like I literally paint with people.
Whoa.
I mean, it's like
Explain.
Well, it's like because I mean, my job is to find all the people in the cast, and all the people in the cast make up the painting.
Yes.
I mean, there's a background, but then the people in the cast are the main people in the painting. So and it's three-dimensional.
The focal point.
Well, right, and there's what they sound like, what they look like, how they move, all of that three-dimensional aspect is important. And then you put these different look, sounds, and movement factors together.
Yeah.
And hope that there's some form of chemistry.
Yeah.
You know, good actors can create chemistry.
For sure.
You know.
Hopefully they do.
Well, good actors
Hopefully
can
they
do
do.
it. And if they hate each other,
Hopefully they do it anyways.
but hopefully they'll do it anyways. It's like Betty Davis and Joan Crawford were able to, even though they hated each other, they were able to create chemistry.
Okay.
It was mostly hatred, but but it's
Hatred
interesting.
chemistry?
Yeah, and it's funny because I teach acting at John Ruskin Theater Group, which is an amazing school in Santa Monica, and
Yeah.
also a great theater group. I mean, they have amazing shows, and they do all kinds of writing workshops and stuff. And I teach their master's class once in a while, and Billy used to do it too. And it's just so much fun to see, to watch make the chemistry happen. You know,
Yeah.
and I always tell them, it's like, pick something huge. Pick love. Pick hate. Pick I want to kill you. Pick I want to have sex with you. Put something major in your head, especially for an audition.
Yeah.
That that will come across underneath right underneath all the words.
Sure.
You know, which suddenly it's really interesting to watch someone talking about, you know, diapers and thinking I want to sleep with you. You know, it's a different. It's amazing to watch.
You know, baby, I just love the way you changed that diaper.
Exactly.
Like, the amount of shit that was loaded in that diaper, and you dispensed with it so smoothly.
Yeah.
I mean, so smoothly. And
You
the way
could
you
tell.
packaged it and tossed it in the trash can, that was unbelievable.
But you wouldn't be
That-
talking about that. You would be talking about something else and thinking I want to sleep with you. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I would think that example comes across talking about the diaper, but
But
using my voice to...
you're doing the diaper. You're talking about,
Okay.
you know, donuts
Talking about donuts and doing the diaper.
and wanting to have sex with her.
Gotcha.
That is an amazing dynamic.
So, adding a third thing in.
You add as many things as you
Gotcha,
can. You add
gotcha.
20 if you can have it. Oops,
Okay.
I killed the plant. You know, it's like the more layers of emotion that an actor has underneath the words.
Sure.
You know, sometimes the words have nothing to do with what's going on.
Of course.
You know, and that's the most interesting time to watch it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, well, my boss was really mad at me. You know, that kind of thing where it's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? You know, and then then you create chemistry that cannot be broken because now you've
Sure.
got this thing, and that's where the yes and comes in.
Yeah.
Because you accept that from them. Oh, I see what's going on. Yes, and then you add something to it, which is, you know, oh, what do you do? You know, now we've got the camera on. So then it becomes a dance.
The eye contact is locked.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, to be sexy, you do certain things. I mean, and it depends on whether you're like a method-based actor or a technical-based actor.
A what based actor?
Technical.
Technical.
Yeah, technical actors. It's more like classically trained actors. They work from the outside in,
Okay.
and method is inside out. So,
Okay.
and a method actor like James Dean or somebody would feel deeply the pain of his grandmother dying, so he could scream Stella, you know. And a technical actor would just put on the face of pain and scream Stella, but you get the same look basically. But they're two techniques that are totally different.
One would assume the power is different or the energy is different.
No, it's exactly the same. It's
Okay.
just the things they do are different. Like a method actor might, if he's playing, you know, a drunken man, he might go and drink for 5 days and be homeless and
Sure.
not bathe.
Sure.
And I mean, Laurence Olivier once told, I believe it was Marlon Brando, he said, who was a method actor, why don't you try acting? You know? Instead.
Well, I prefer you to just shoot me living on camera.
No, we want real bullets in this gun. No, we don't. Oh my God, that's such a disaster.
Well, I mean, there was the situation. Did you see the Man on the Moon documentary, or what was it? Jim and Andy.
Oh no,
the Jim and
I
Andy
haven't seen
documentary
it.
about
No,
Man on the Moon. I think it
about
was.
The
Him
well,
doing
no,
Andy
but Jim
Kaufman.
Carrey was who was a method actor.
Sure.
Went way off the deep end with method stuff and walked around talking like that all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you ever do get a chance to see this in your extremely busy schedule, I'm assuming you're
I
a
watch
lot.
movies. I watch a lot of movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you have the time, Jim and Andy, It is an
Okay.
incredible documentary.
Yeah, I'd
in the
love to
sense of
see it.
you really get to see how deep he went into that.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just him hiring some random like film team to follow him around.
Mm-hmm.
He had the actual family of Andy Kaufman that was doing it. So I think it was his sister and maybe uncle or something like that. I could be wrong. But the actual family of them, and they were the ones following him around. On set, I'm not sure if they went as far as going with him home, but there was this wonderful part where someone talked about, I think it was his driver, like, I would pick him up in the morning and he's just already in character. Like, he gets out of bed in character, gets into the limo or whatever it was he was picking him up in, and then he's either talking to Andy that day or who was his alter ego? Andy's alter ego?
Oh, I don't remember.
I
know what
totally
you're
forgot
talking
his
about. I
name,
can't
but
remember
yeah,
his name.
like the huge paunch belly and everything,
Yeah.
and just like totally abusive and like
just
this whole kind of
crazy
thing.
guy, yeah.
And so
Oh, what
like,
was his name? Now I'm gonna go
Yeah.
crazy.
well, if our technical man in the background could Google that for a second, our non-existent technical man
Yeah,
in the
but
background
my
could
PA
Google that for a
can
second.
help out. No, my assistant's not even here today, so we have nothing.
Well,
Come here, you. Can you help out?
can
Yeah.
you Google that
I
by
just
any
can't remember
chance?
his name, but what,
could
actually,
Give him a phone to Google that.
Google that, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there's ever a round 2 for this podcast, that would be wonderful. Maybe
Okay.
I'll come back a little bit more prepared in what I'm actually talking about.
Okay, well, we can talk about whatever. I mean, I've done lots of jobs,
No,
and
But yeah, there was this situation where things like that, him going so far as just like going into his trailer for makeup and all of these kinds of things, where it's just like everybody, you could just see it on their faces, their nerves getting just
well, it's
ripped
annoying.
apart, just pulled apart and everything. And yeah, that I respect it. I don't know if I could really handle it. I don't know if I could handle it, but I definitely respect it.
Yeah, and the
I
thing about
respect it in
Jim,
the same
though, I mean, Jim Carrey specifically, just from what I've seen, is he does a lot of technical stuff too, but he
Yeah.
can do method as well. And I think the best actors out there use whatever technique they can learn,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
the more techniques you learn, the more, things you can reach for when you need to get somewhere emotionally, and so the best
sure.
actors, I think, do both.
This is the wonderful thing that could segue back into my end of it.
What?
The best sound people, especially with boom operators, are the most resourceful.
Right, of
Yeah.
course.
And that's not just resourceful with the tools that you have. There's also
Yeah.
the mind tools that you have. How good are you at learning a script, dialogue, improvising within the dialogue that you've already figured out, that you've already memorized? Or are you the type of person where within this particular scene, maybe it's not improvised, but the movements are improvised? And so if someone's not hitting their mark and you know they're not going to hit their mark, then you're already ready. And hopefully
Right.
you're ready for being incredibly resourceful with your tactics and your movements in that situation. But then, of course, that also goes on to, say, speaking with directors, cameramen, everyone out of the shoot, off scene in that sense, on how are we going to get this done? How much information can I get from you? How much information can I give to you? So we have this reciprocal relationship of information, this dialogue constantly going. And unfortunately, that is also something that's lacking within the industry, at least on my end when it comes to Germany. I've heard a lot about much better boom operators in the States, and that is a passion of mine to hopefully spread that kind of resourcefulness, passion, and just the want and the need to, for one, have that information, but then how to use it.
Yeah.
How to be that political genius. How to walk around, know how to talk to people. Sorry, this is reflecting all over your face. At the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, God, get interesting. Seriously.
Get
Read the
interesting.
newspaper.
Yes,
Watch
100%.
the news. Don't go opinionated on it. Just learn, get a couple degrees. Get what you can, learn things. It's like educated people are better actors, they're better boom operators, they're better everything because they can come up with different ideas. And college in general teaches you how to learn.
How to study.
How to
hopefully.
study and
Yeah.
how to learn in general. And, it's like high school is supposed to prepare you for it. But,
Hopefully.
but a lot
I don't
of
know
them
how well it
don't.
does.
I mean,
but, yeah.
my dad he's retired fighter pilot and flight commander of many bases. But he now tutors higher math and calculus and stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's really smart. And, and what was my point of that?
Well, I would say, for one, you were talking about how to learn,
Oh no,
how to do better
and how
at
to learn,
studying, how to get in that solution-based mindset.
Right, and it's like with him, it's like he comes up with different ideas, and sometimes he and I will run ideas past each other on how to get through to kids.
Mm.
Which is, even though I don't really teach kids, I don't, but I do cast a lot of kids.
Well, then you have to interact with them.
Yeah, totally,
Yeah.
and I'm great with them, and I usually have a really good time. But watching them learn something is so fascinating.
Dude, they
when they click, and an adult when
yeah.
they click, it's like
Yeah.
the few acting students that I have as a private coach.
you do private coaching.
For two people,
Oh, okay.
I mean, I literally don't have time to take on
Yeah.
anybody, and I only charge $40 an hour, and that
So
pisses off
I shouldn't-
everybody.
So I shouldn't ask you to personally take me on.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. But everybody, all these casting directors charge $200 an hour to teach
Yeah.
for an hour, and I'm like, what?
Whoa,
I charge $40 an hour,
good for you.
which is less than most coaches charge.
Sure.
which
I mean,
pisses them
if
off.
you're, I would assume that it's not in the judgment sense, but if you want to better yourself and go through that education experience to just gain more, it should be accessible in some way.
Oh, why would you teach something that you know really well and not make it cheap enough for people to afford it?
Sure.
know?
This goes into the whole thing with Billy.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll eventually talk to him about whenever I get him to sit down and go through this whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that he was involved in with the whole casting scandal thing.
Oh yeah, no, we
Yeah.
were both involved in that. That was a mess.
Dude, I
pay-to-play.
only heard about it after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, pay to play. That was a big mess. But yeah, they got shut down for a time, and now they're coming back a little bit.
Well, one would assume that, when the cat's away, the mice play.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, but I mean, they're idiots to think that the city attorney's not still watching them.
Well, hopefully they are.
I mean, it's like they must be. I mean, they're not going to shut down a multi-billion-dollar, or not billion, but $1 million industry,
Yeah.
and then
Just
blow it
look the other
off.
way, yeah.
And then just be like, oh, whatever, we're done with that.
Well, hopefully it doesn't turn into the situation of, well, we don't have to go searching for it because there's not someone saying that we should go searching for it.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Well, I mean, the city attorney got what do you call this things when a whole bunch of people sign for a petition?
Okay.
They got this huge petition for
Yeah.
people saying, we want you to look into this.
Yeah.
And then they did. And then they went undercover, and then they busted a bunch of people, and,
Damn.
a lot of them got in trouble.
Ultimate success.
All of them got in trouble. I mean, everybody went down, so.
Ultimate success and justice.
Yeah, and then
That's
the one that
awesome.
went to court got found guilty.
Okay.
The only one that went to trial was found guilty.
There was only one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What happened with the rest of it then?
They all pleaded guilty to get out and got out of it.
Oh, okay. So take a plea deal in the sense of maybe pay a
3
fine
years
and
of
then your probation. Okay.
Yeah, and then after a certain amount of time, we'll take it off your record if you don't do another workshop.
Good.
So for a while, there were
Good.
no workshops, and then they started bringing them back.
So no workshops in the sense of in the illegal sense, or do you just mean in general?
In the pay-to-play workshop
Gotcha.
scheme.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, what a legal pay-to-play workshop is going in front of a casting director, doing a cold reading or a scene, and leaving.
What does cold mean? in that
Cold
sense?
reading is like they hand you a script and you've never seen it before.
Okay.
Or you have 5 minutes with it.
Okay.
That's cold reading
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you didn't have time to work on it and
Yeah.
memorize it. And,
Yeah.
it's like if you just if you perform in front of a casting director and they say thank you next,
Yeah.
that's an audition.
Gotcha.
That's not
As
a
in,
class.
you need feedback.
You've
feedback
got to
has to
teach
be there.
something.
Yes.
You can't call yourself a teacher if you're not actually teaching.
100%.
And so what happened with that one that went to trial was they had video of her not teaching,
Wow.
and they showed it to the jury.
Yeah.
And then the jury was like,
Case point done.
That was.
Yeah.
I think it took him 20 minutes to come back with a guilty plea.
Nice.
Yeah, that was absurd.
Awesome. And that's also meaning that the trial just didn't get drug out in the most retarded way of just like going on and on and on and on, and someone being able to just like, okay, I have my life in some way as long as I can drag this trial out. It's a much better thing to.
Well,
case
they
point
did
done.
it for 3 days, I think, and then they went to,
At least not 3 years.
but not 3 years,
Yeah.
and at least not 3 weeks.
Sure.
And they immediately
Sure.
found them guilty, and it was over. So.
Unfortunately, it saddens my heart to say that we have about 5 minutes left.
Yes.
In that sense, I would love to thank you very much for your time, your effort.
Thank you.
The tea.
The tea. We have tea.
Your lovely backyard.
It's super
The flamingo.
fun. And there's another one over
Who
there.
didn't manage to Google anything.
He didn't.
At
Did
the
you
moment.
not Google? Oh man.
It's all right, buddy.
Yes, and we still love you.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
Of course.
and we still love you, even though you have spider webs all over you. Well, it was great to meet you and super much fun, and I'll come back anytime.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully I have
Throw
more
myself
time
under the bus.
within the next year. At the end of the month, I head back to Germany
Okay.
and start actually working as opposed to all the random side projects I've started at the moment. I need to feed myself, and
Yes.
at some point, hopefully, random things like this will help on that side to give me a little bit more free time to pursue the creative side of things. But of course, I still love my job, booming,
Yes,
and that's the
booming is
best way
fun.
to really bring it in, to do all of these kinds of side projects and then put it into action when I'm on set. And if I fuck it up on set, hopefully anyone who knows this and has seen me on this can hold me accountable for it.
Right, and you hold yourself accountable
Yes,
as well.
I will do my best.
I mean, one of the 3 most important words in the world to know are, I was wrong.
For sure. For sure. I love that statement.
Yeah.
In the sense of you bringing it up, that it is now recorded, that people will hear it. I love to say that I was wrong.
Yeah.
I love it because it makes the situation so much smoother. It gets rid of any stress within it. It's just like, you know what? I fucked up.
Yeah.
I totally fucked up. That's it. And let's see how we can do it better. You don't have to reprimand the fuck out of me. You don't have to chew me out.
Yeah.
I admit it. I fucked up, and let's figure out how to do it better.
Yeah.
That's it's a beautiful thing. Hopefully more people understand that in the future.
Yeah. Take responsibility for your own actions.
So, before I drag this into another 35-minute long conversation,
Okay, thank you very much.
I would love to give you a hug in the
Okay,
frame.
in the frame. Okay, here we are. In the frame.
Thank
Hugging.
you so much.
Yes, thank you. I can have some tea. Woohoo!
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Daniel, my technical support, thank you so much. If you feel like being on camera at any point before we turn the camera off, people can see your face. If not, you're a wonderful person behind the scenes. Awesome.
Good. Very
Awesome.
nice. Was that
yeah.
helpful?
Huh?
Was that helpful?
What, the hug?
No, the
Of
whole
course.
thing. Are you
Free
happy?
hugs. Always good shit.
Okay, good.
The entire thing was perfect.
Dirty Ambiance Podcast. We come to you wherever you might be. See you on set or on a mountain, in your kitchen or on a beach, where there will be lights, sound speed, camera rolling, action.
You're just asking this machine to do things that were outside of specifications.
Yes.
With some interesting results, but with After Effects, because they have different render engines and things like that, I would experiment with the ways in which I could fuck things up.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, actually, that brings up a great point. You want to track. So there's tracking, editing, there's tracking, mixing, and mastering, right? At least for the studio side of stuff. And so you want to track, so your mix engineer has nothing to do. You want to mix, so your mastering engineer has nothing to do. And by the time it gets to the mastering, if you're doing anything, it means someone else is fucked up somewhere else.
That's so basically the reason that there's an entire portion of the industry that has a job within post-production
Is because you guys suck at what you do.
we suck at what we do. I mean, actually, this is